Grace and Noble.
Now we'll talk about something amazing which you are going to talk about on a day-to-day basis with your patients. You are going to see them, you're going to discuss with them, help them to correct their vision. So we are going to talk about vision correction. Very simple, very easy in optics. Patient, if everything is fine, are called emmetropes. EMMETROPES. Emmetropes means no problem. So they are coming. I have a problem. I have a headache. I have this. The optometrist tests their eyes and says, "You are perfect. You are an emmetrope." So there is no problem. So whatever solution he suggests, you can carry forward. But if a patient has a problem, then he becomes emmetrope. Instead of E in the beginning, you will have A in the beginning. So, emmetrope means his eyes need vision correction. And what type of vision correction? So basically, we have number one, myopia, short sight, hypermetropia, or in short, hyperopia, long sight. Number three, we have astigmatism. And number four, we have presbyopia. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Four types of vision correction. So, what is myopia? I teach it in a very simple, easy way. For people who are from India, they know MSD, right? Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Yeah. And people outside India who play cricket also know who is Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Myopia, M, short sight. S, D for distance correction. So those who have myopia will have short sight. They are able to see something which is at short distance. So they have short sight. Long sight? No, there is a problem. So this is very simple. MSD, myopia, short sight, distance correction. What needs to be corrected? Distance needs to be corrected because distance is blurred. They are not able to see it properly. If they are able to see something on the laptop, it looks very good. If they are able to look at the number of a transport bus which is coming, it's blurred. So they come to you and they ask you, they please help me that I am not able to see it properly whenever somebody is coming from far. Okay? How does it happen? Because the human eye, at an average has plus 60 diopters, right? So the cornea plus the crystalline lens together is plus 60 diopters. If the optical power is more, instead of plus 60 diopters, if it is plus 61 diopters, or plus 62 diopters, plus 65 diopters, or even plus 60.5 diopters, and the patient comes and complains, I have a problem with the distance. So the optical power, which is high, will induce too much of a focal power. As a result, the image in emmetropes, which falls on the retina perfectly well, will now fall in front of the retina. The focal point of the image of the light falls in front of the retina. This is why in myopic patients you will have a problem with distance, whereas things which are very close to you, they will be very much visible. So what do? If you have, instead of plus, you have plus 62, so you need to reduce it. So what you do? you add -2 or -1, depends upon the correction that is required in front of the eye through this lens. When that lens is inserted through a spectacle, then the patient sees the vision, has very good vision and no complaints at all, because they are now everything's very clear, crystal clear. This is myopia. Myopia, short sight, distance correction. Look at the image and I'll make it much easier for you to understand. Okay, the normal eye, the blurred vision, and how it gets corrected. Then comes hypermetropia or hyperopia in short, which is, in myopia we talked about short sight, distance correction. In hypermetropia we talk about long sight, near correction. So things which are closer to you are blurred, things which are far away are visible. So what do you do? In this case, in hyperopia, you need to understand what's the issue with the eye. The image will be falling beyond the retina because the rays that are entering the cornea and the crystalline lines will be diverging further. So they need to converge. And converge where? Yes, you are right. They have to converge on the retina. Once they converge on the retina, a perfect image is formed on the retina. The patient says to you, "Thank you very much. God bless you. I can now see the image very clearly." So in this case, in hyperopia, you will be adding a plus lens. It could be +1, +2, +5, depends on whatever the vision correction the optometrist suggests. Have a look at this image. 1, the normal eye. 2, the blurred image of a hyperopic eye. And the third, after correction, how it looks like. Now we are only talking about an eye condition where the eye is like a spherical shape, like a football. But in certain cases, the eyes are in the shape of an egg or a rugby ball, which is called astigmatism. So what's an astigmatism? Because of the shape of the eye, instead of one focal point, which falls when the image falls on the retina, now there are two focal points falling in front of the retina or behind the retina, or one in front of the retina or one behind the retina. So if there are two focal points, which I told you, in a cylindrical lens, the eye is in an astigmatic lens, the shape of the eye is like a rugby ball, like an egg, like an oval shape. You cut it in the center, it's spherical, you see at the top it's flat. Because of this, the rays form two focal points. If those two focal points fall in front of the retina, both, then it is myopic astigmatism. Yes, same myopia, but here it is myopic astigmatism. If both focal points fall behind the retina, it is perfect. You guessed it right. It's hypermetropic astigmatism or hyperopic astigmatism, because both focal points are behind the retina. And if one is before and one is after, one focal point before the retina and one is after the retina, behind the retina, then it's called mixed astigmatism. Clear? We'll talk more about the prescriptions in the next session. How myopia has to be corrected, how hyperopia has to be corrected, how astigmatism has to be corrected. And the fourth correction is when people grow old, you become like me. Yes, I must admit that I am old. Alright. So at the roughly around 40 years, what happens is there is a signal, nature's signal or God's signal, that will inform you that you are getting old. So what happens is the book that you are reading gets blurred. The fonts, the writing on the book is not visible anymore. Gradually you start to, now that at 1 foot it's good, then you start to distance the book from you so that it becomes visible. As you grow older and older, you stretch the book far away. That is called presbyopia. Presbyopia by itself is old age. As a result of old age, you have difficulty in reading. And what do you do now? If some patients have very good eyes, they don't have problem with myopia, they don't have problem with hyperopia, they have only problem in reading the book. That means they only need a reading lens. And that is, those small letters on the book will become bigger. So we put a reading lens which sits like this, and you can see people reading it, right? So that's how the reading looks like. So it starts from, if they need it, 0.75, otherwise it can start with +1. Go to any optical shop, ask them, give me a reading lens. They will just bring a tray full of +1 till +3.5, +4, so on. So it's only a reading lens. So this is what it is. If a patient has all of this, he has short sight, then he has presbyopia, then he has long sight, then he has presbyopia, then accordingly all vision correction needs to be done. We will see more about it in the prescription side. Now you just have a look at how presbyopia happens. Presbyopia basically happens because as you grow old, the ciliary muscle gets weakened. Because the ciliary muscle gets weakened, the accommodation of the lens, the power of the lens to accommodate a distance, near, intermediate, becomes an issue. It weakens. Because it weakens, the movement of the lens weakens, then you have a problem with this. So that's because of the muscle, not because of the cornea, not because of the shape of the eye, that's because of the ciliary body, ciliary muscle. The contraction and expansion of the muscle, which is through which the crystalline lens is suspended. As a result, the accommodation gets affected. This is what all about vision correction is. Now in the next session we'll be talking about prescription. What kind of a prescription, how the prescription can solve a patient's problem, and what are the ways and different types of lenses. We will discuss about even contact lenses. Okay, see you soon.